June is over and it was a solid month for movies, from live action remakes to IMAX-worthy films to surprise animated hits. In this video, I am ranking every release I saw in June, some you've heard of and others you may have not. But I've got takes, some hot ones, some lukewarm ones, and some I'll probably regret in a couple weeks. Let's drop these in the tier list. The Phoenician Scheme feels like the third movie in an unofficial Wes Anderson trilogy. It's stylish, it's funny, and the set design, as always, is immaculate. Michael Cera stands out big time, showing off his range and comedic experience, and the main character's arc is pretty rewarding. But man, the monotone dialogue and deadpan delivery flattens anything emotional. I've said it once, I'll say it again for this film. If you're not into Wes Anderson, this won't change your mind, and if you are, you might just be happy he's still making movies, even if it just feels like he's making movies to hang out with his friends at this point. I'm lukewarm on it, just like I was with Asteroid City. The style is still great, but that's kind of all I'm getting. So 6.5 out of 10. It's hard to review these movies because they're just so badass. The action choreography, still the best in the game. I'd forgive almost any flaw if the fights get me this hype. Now, it's not John Wick, and the movie knows it, but Ana de Armas steps in with a commanding performance and delivers some of the rawest takedowns in the whole franchise. This isn't just a spin-off for spin-off's sake. We actually expand the world in a meaningful way. We never got to see John Wick become the boogeyman, so it's satisfying to see Eve become the ballerina. It's not the best in the franchise, but it's far from the worst, and in this series, that means an 8 out of 10. This movie asks a lot of you emotionally. It takes itself seriously in a way that feels kind of rare these days. The first act that you see is easily the strongest. While its big ideas start to feel repetitive, the heart is there. It's not always easy to stay connected, but it's a beautiful celebration of life. Tom Hiddleston brings a lot of charm, and the cinematography does a lot of heavy lifting, stretching a short story into something that feels worthy of the big screen. 7 out of 10. Jaws with a serial killer, but what sets this one apart is its deep appreciation for sharks. There's real beauty in how they're shot, which I didn't expect. Jai Courtney is ruthless and unhinged in the best way. He's the reason why this movie is so fun to watch. It's got the gore, the shark attacks, and that B-movie vibe if you appreciate it as much as I do. Yeah, it's cheesy and the characters make dumb decisions constantly, but the horror concept is fun enough to land me on the positive side. 6 out of 10. We've been talking a lot about live action remakes this year, but what about the switch from live action to animation? No, not that one. The newest Predator movie is animated, and it's awesome. It's called Killer of Killers. It works both as an anthology and a complete film. This is the same director as Prey. Why is he so good with this IP? The action is so creative, it honestly makes me question, do we even need to go back to live action? Or as I call them now, flush films. It's one movie, 3 stories, and every single character hits. That's rare. No one feels rushed or thin. 8 out of 10. My favorite act, if you know me, you'll know it's the sword. But I'd be curious to know which one is the most beloved, so drop your favorite in the comments. I did it. I swear I'm not asking for the algorithm. I just want to talk about Predator, okay? I'm not a sellout. I'm not. 8 out of 10. I love it. I love it. Celine's songs follow up to past lives I hadn't expected. We're in similar territory here, love triangle fashion, old flame versus present day, but the analysis on relationships is so much more direct and the characters are super transparent, reminding me of conversations you'd find in When Harry Met Sally, but way more analytical and serious. By no means is this a rom-com, it's a romantic drama for sure. Chris Evans is the best I've seen him in a minute. We always love Pedro Pascal. And Dakota Johnson is doing her usual reserved discipline shtick. Celine's song is amazing in this genre. I enjoy the visuals, how they're just as romantic as the plot. I hope she makes these kind of films for years. 8 out of 10. Live action adaptations are easy to hate. They're money grabs. Animation is usually the better choice. And who wants to rewatch the same movie, especially when it's remade shot for shot? Listen, I was on the same page, but what can we do when they actually did a good job? Same director, same approach to the material, but a different medium that captures the beauty all over again with a different type of filmmaking that's just as impressive. This isn't photorealistic CGI. The dragons look awesome. Gerard Butler reprises his role in what is one of his best performances. Jay Baruchel's voice was iconic, but Mason Thames was superb at translating Hiccup to live action. You may be skeptical, but I challenge you to watch Hiccup ride Toothless for the first time and not say it's just as stunning. Sure, some charm and humor was lost, but there's plenty more that makes up for it. I'm not saying it's better than the original, I'm just saying it's not far off. 7 out of 10. Deep Cover is an action comedy with a phenomenal cast, Orlando Bloom. The concept, improv comics go undercover and end up getting way too deep in the crime world. The actors really rise to the occasion to show off their range, especially Orlando Bloom. In no way does this reinvent the wheel, it's just a cool idea that works and creates some worthwhile gags. And also, Orlando Bloom's in it. 7 out of 10. B tier for Pixar standards, but that's still really good. I'd put it right behind Inside Out 2, Turning Red, and Luca. It's Pixar, so it's obviously stunning, and the concept is fun, but it's just so familiar. It's like Pixar has a bag of tricks and new filmmakers come in, pull out their card, and it's, oh, the kill the parents card. This film also had a lot of different trailers promising different storylines, and it's very easy to come in feeling confused about what you're getting. But the characters have charm, the message is sweet, and even if it doesn't reach the emotional heights of Pixar's best, it's still worth watching. 7 out of 10. Let's move on. If Hallmark made an action movie, this is what it would look like. None of the jokes land, the music choices suck, the action choreography is passable at best. I can't imagine a world where you see this when Ballerina is right there, when your TV is right there, when you haven't watched Orlando Bloom in Deep Cover. He's right there. I can't with this movie. 2 out of 10. The best zombie movie we've gotten in nearly 10 years. Every nugget of this movie is covered. The acting, Aaron Taylor Johnson holds it down, Jodie Comer holds it down, and you know Ray Fiennes is holding it down. And even if they didn't, 12-year-old Alfie Williams is holding his own with these titans. It pays homage to the original while not being afraid in the slightest to add new ideas, offer new cinematic approaches, even double down on existing concepts. Being the biggest movie to shoot on a phone recaptures the history behind the first film being the first major movie shot on a digital camcorder. It's beautiful, it's terrifying, it's why any of us even care about zombie movies, and they've done it again. Don't be surprised if this genre is revitalized because this film proves there is still territory to discover. Oh, and I can't forget, Young Fathers killed it on the soundtrack. Sorry, I'm a big fan. The editing is insane. It matches that energy you get from the original film. Okay, I can talk about this movie all day. 8.5 out of 10. I think you kind of need to like K-pop or musicals to enjoy this one. Lucky for me, I listen to K-pop, and they got twice. So yeah, I had fun. It's a wild concept, K-pop plus demons plus cinema, and honestly, they pull it off better than I expected. For what expectations, I never thought something like this would exist. The music, the performances, they actually make sense in the story, which is all a film buff can ask for. Sure, some lines are clunky, there's exposition overload, the themes are spoon-fed, but who cares? It's a K-pop animated film that doesn't suck, and that's already a win, so 6.5 out of 10. If you like racing movies, Brad Pitt, and theater-shaking sound, this will be your next IMAX trip. F1 is directed by Joseph Kosinski, the guy who did Top Gun Maverick, so it makes sense that this movie feels huge. And White Tom Cruise showed up. On top of that, if you see this in IMAX, you will get the entire height and width of the image. I was doing this. The engines roar with bass, Hans Zimmer's score elevates, and Brad Pitt is as charismatic as ever. What sets this movie apart is the decision to skip the central rival trope. It's not about beating someone, it's about winning at all. The story isn't groundbreaking, but the racing sequences are packed with high-octane tension, and it's hard not to get swept away by the feel-good vibes. Yes, I think we can forgive Kosinski for Spiderhead now. 7.5 out of 10. Lastly, I'm pushing IMAX so hard because I feel like after Sinners, this is the year for IMAX. I hope more movies do it, and even after films like Civil War, I hope it becomes more accessible. If I said this was a more optimistic Cars 3, would that be too far off? This one hurt me more than I expected. There's actually a decent action movie buried underneath the messy parts of this sequel. The action is well choreographed with stylistic camera work to match, the AI jokes land, and the switch from horror to action is believable, but only in the final act. The problem? It takes forever to get there. There's a million steps until we finally get Megan back on screen, and she's the best part of these movies. Speaking of which, no bias, but Jenna Davis did a great job with the voice acting. It should have been evil robot versus anti-hero robot, 90 minutes, done. Instead, they want so badly to be Mission Impossible, but they're just not, and this isn't the movie for it. It's not awful. In fact, I may have had an overall more enjoyable time watching this film than the previous, but as far as judging a movie on how well it movies, I can't confidently say this is an improvement. It's just frustrating when you see all the tools for something good, slightly wasted. 5.5 out of 10. That's a wrap for June, and whether you agree or think I belong in the F tier, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What was your favorite film of June? What was my worst take? And if you're willing, drop your top 5 in the comments. I do these tier lists every month, so please subscribe if you want to stay in the loop, or just show up and roast my July picks. Either way, see you at the movies.